Cruise ships sell you sunsets, buffets, and Broadway shows. The dream vacation on a floating resort. But behind that glamour is a playbook of quiet tricks cruise lines hope you never notice. Some save you money, others unlock hidden perks. Most, you won't hear about them unless someone spills the secret. Let's dive in. 1. Unlisted upgrades. You see a basic cabin, but someone else booked the same room and ended up with a balcony. What gives? It's called a free upgrade. And cruise lines offer them quietly. But here's the thing. They go first to passengers who ask. Not demand, ask. During booking or check-in, mention a special occasion, say you're flexible, or ask if any upgrades are open. Sometimes they'll shift you for free to balance the manifest. It's rarely promoted because they want to sell those upgrades, not hand them out. But polite cruisers who check in early and mention anniversaries, they often find themselves walking into a suite instead of a shoebox. Pro tip. Call the cruise line 48 hours before departure and ask if any upgrades became available. Worst case, you still have your original room. Best case, you paid for ocean view and end up on a private balcony with a sunrise and champagne welcome. 2. Dining room menu swap. You're handed a dinner menu, but what if you want something from last night, or from the steakhouse, or off menu entirely? Here's the trick. Just ask. Cruise lines often allow what's called secret substitutions. Miss the shrimp scampi from day 2? Request it. Want the steakhouse cut without paying $45? Some lines will offer it for free in the main dining room, if you ask early and politely. These hidden menu items aren't published, and your waiter won't mention them unless you show some menu savvy. I've seen seasoned cruisers ask for surf and turf and actually get it. Lobster tail from one night, filet mignon from another, plated together. Cruise lines won't say no if the kitchen can handle it. It's their way of quietly rewarding repeat passengers without advertising it. So next time you're handed a dull entree list, smile and say, "Any chance I could try the pasta for Monday again?" You might just unlock dinner 2.0. 3. Port Day Spa Hack. You want a massage but not at sea day prices. Here's what they don't tell you. Spa prices drop, sometimes by half, when the ship's in port. Why? Because most passengers are off exploring. But if you stay on board, you'll find discounted massages, facials, even thermal suite access. These port day promos are rarely advertised in bold. They're hidden in the fine print or announced last minute in the daily schedule. Ask the spa front desk the night before a port day if they'll be running specials. Chances are they will. Bonus? You get the entire spa to yourself while everyone else is dodging street vendors in 90-degree heat. Instead of spending $200 on a basic massage during peak hours, you'll be paying $99 in peace and quiet. The cruise line won't push these deals. They'd rather you shell out full price. But savvy passengers save big, skip the crowds, and still walk off relaxed and glowing. 4. Bring your own wine loophole. Think you have to buy overpriced alcohol packages to enjoy wine on board? Think again. Most cruise lines quietly allow each adult to bring one bottle of wine or champagne at embarkation, for free. No corkage fee, no questions. This policy is buried deep in the cruise FAQs, and staff won't remind you. Why? Because a $6 bottle from home means one less 14 glass sold on board. Some passengers even get creative. 2 people equals 2 bottles, equals 4 nights of pre-dinner drinks. Want to enjoy it in the main dining room? Ask nicely, and many waiters will waive the corkage. Bonus: bring a travel corkscrew, keep it in your room, and enjoy sunset sips on your balcony without paying a dime. Cruise lines depend on drink revenue, so they're not going to spotlight this trick. But if you do your homework, you'll cruise classy and frugal all at once. 5. Early embarkation hack. You booked a 2 p.m. boarding slot, but you're on board by 11:30 sipping cocktails. How? By arriving early and asking. Cruise lines stagger boarding times to avoid chaos, but they rarely enforce them strictly. If the terminal is open and security's moving, you can often board earlier than your assigned time. The key is arriving right after they open, usually 10:30 to 11 a.m., having your documents ready, and simply saying, "Is it okay if I check in now?" Bonus: early boarders get the pick of deck chairs, dining times, and empty ship photos without crowds. You'll be unpacked while others are still in security lines. Cruise staff won't shout about this trick because managing the crowd flow matters. But if you're polite, organized, and early, you'll beat the rush. And while others post their just boarded selfies at 3 p.m., you'll already be on your second mojito. 6. Loyalty perks without the loyalty. Some cruise lines match status from competitors. If you're gold on one cruise line, you might instantly get gold on another. Perks can include priority boarding, free laundry, lounge access, or Wi-Fi discounts without having sailed the line before. You just email customer service with proof of your other status, and boom, instant upgrades. Cruise lines offer this quietly to lure repeat cruisers away from competitors. I've seen passengers go from first-timer to preferred guest in a single cruise, complete with welcome gifts and priority disembark. Don't expect it if you booked a budget room last minute, but if you've got decent history elsewhere, it's worth the ask. 7. Hidden lounges. Crowded pool decks, screaming kids, and no chairs in sight? That's because you haven't found the secret lounges. Most cruise ships have tucked away spaces the average passenger never sees. Adult-only sun decks, quiet libraries, cocktail bars with no signage. They're not listed front and center in the brochures, and crew won't advertise them. Why? They're designed as pressure valves for the seasoned cruisers. Ask a bartender where the quietest bar is. Check the deck plan for dead-end corridors. Sometimes they lead to panoramic lounges. Even the top deck often has areas marked retreat or solarium that stay empty for hours. One ship I sailed had a hidden aft deck with a hot tub. Never crowded, never loud. Once you find them, these spots become your escape. Let everyone else wrestle over buffet tables and pool chairs. You'll be reading a book with a view, drink in hand, wondering why no one else figured it out. 8. Free birthday perks. Celebrating a birthday on board? You can score free cake, champagne, room decorations. Cruise lines don't automatically check your ID and throw you a party. You, or your travel agent, need to add the occasion to your reservation in advance. Once flagged, crew often deliver a cake to your dinner table, decorate your cabin door, or bring complimentary bubbly. I've even seen passengers get surprise spa discounts or photo vouchers. The key? Don't just tell your waiter, update your reservation online or call the cruise line weeks ahead. Staff love making moments special if they're given a heads up. Otherwise, your big day will pass like any other. Cruise lines won't remind you because, again, it costs them. But for a few clicks, you unlock a full celebration for free. You're already on a floating resort. Might as well let it feel like your personal party. 9. Free room service breakfast. Room service sounds fancy and expensive. But what the cruise lines don't shout from the deck? Basic breakfast delivery is often completely free. Yep. Check off coffee, fruit, pastries, juice, and it shows up in the morning with zero charge. Most people skip this because they assume it's a paid luxury, but for many cruise lines, continental breakfast is included. The catch? You have to request it early. Those cards are picked up overnight, and if you forget, you're back in the buffet line with the masses. I once enjoyed quiet balcony mornings with fresh croissants while the herd scrambled for toast trays on Deck 9. Room service eggs or hot meals may cost extra, but if you're happy with a light spread and coffee in bed, totally free. Cruise lines don't push this perk, because if everyone knew, the buffet would be a ghost town. 10. Cabin configuration switch. Booked 2 twins but want a king? Need the bed by the window instead of the bathroom? You don't have to settle. Most cabins are modular. Beds slide together, furniture shifts, even some walls fold or curtains move to create separation. Just ask your steward, they'll usually handle it by dinner. Want more outlets by your bed? They often have extension cords. Need the mini fridge emptied? Done. Cruise lines don't push this service because most passengers just accept what they get, but the stewards, they're pros and they want you happy and tipping well. I once had a steward reconfigure an entire cabin so a parent could watch their kid from bed while the child napped in the corner. No extra charge, no fuss. If your room doesn't feel right, speak up early and watch it transform into something way more comfortable than you booked. 11. Onboard price matching. Think prices on board are fixed? Think again. Cruise lines occasionally match prices from their own website or even third-party sites while you're on board. That $299 shore excursion you just booked? If it drops midweek, bring the screenshot to guest services. Same with drink packages, photo bundles, or spa promos. The catch? You have to notice and ask. Crew won't volunteer the savings. They're counting on you being too distracted to check. But veteran cruisers watch prices like hawks and often get onboard credits, partial refunds, or upgraded packages because they caught a price dip. It's not guaranteed, but cruise lines would rather toss you $50 in credit than lose goodwill. So if you're booking anything major on board, snap a photo of the price and check back mid-cruise. If it drops, you've got leverage. You don't have to haggle, you just have to pay attention. 12. Skip the line tender trick. When your ship anchors offshore, tender boats ferry passengers to land. Sounds simple, until you're stuck waiting 90 minutes in a sweaty lounge. Here's the secret. Book a shore excursion, even a cheap one, and you get early priority tender tickets. Or show up early to guest services and politely ask for priority boarding, especially if you mention mobility issues or early tour times. Most ships give preference to passengers with excursions, then those with a solid reason. Otherwise, you're waiting and wasting precious time in port. The result? You step ashore refreshed early and without elbowing through crowds. Everyone else? They're still in the theater, staring at their group number, while your sandals are already in the sand. Cruise lines don't lie, they just don't tell you everything. But now you know the hidden tricks, the secret perks, and the quiet loopholes. Use them wisely, and cruise like an insider. What's your favorite cruise hack most passengers don't know? Drop it in the comments, and sail smarter next time.